The woman that supports me needs to be a great woman.
So you a white woman, you be Coretta Scott King. The thing is, he still won't get off. You ain't doing yourself any favors, man. Brother, lay off this Coretta Scott King shit. He's still, in the interview, he's still bringing up Coretta, man.
He got a thing for
He got a thing.
How would you describe your relationship?
She's an angel, like a Coretta, you know?
Brother, what is you with doing this Coretta Scott King fetish that you got, man? This brother, the second time you brought up Coretta Scott, I think he got a fetish for Coretta Scott. Hey, let me ask you something. Do you think that he does role play as Martin Luther King with his girls and have them be Coretta Scott King?
Yeah, put this on, girl.
Yeah, you take that afro off. You can keep that mustache on.
He got a Coretta Ink. That's what he got right there.
I have a dream. I'm gonna tear that ass up tonight. Bend over, girl. Bend over. Double Toasted Live in Los Angeles is going to be Saturday, April 27th for a night of comedy games and that after party. People have been waiting with bated breath to hear. Yeah, people have waited weeks now, ever since the conviction of Jonathan Majors, man.
Damn, conviction. That sounds so ugly.
It does. It sounds so. It sounds terrible considering just a few months ago we weren't using that word with this man. We were talking about amazing. One of the best, Oscar, we were talking about.
Yes.
We use a word like amazing, awesome, Oscar. You know, words like the new Brando. You know,
wow.
Yeah,
a master of his craft. This guy.
Yeah, man. On the rise, you know, this guy was right here, and then things came to a halt. What were his what is he getting convicted for?
What is that for some kind of second degree assault or battery? Yes. I don't remember.
Assault. Let's just say it's for physical assault of his girlfriend. Yeah, and people have been, you know, we've seen in the news, we've been hearing everything about this case except for one thing. We haven't heard from him. We haven't heard anything from his words. So he just did an interview, an exclusive on Good Morning America. And I think it was in two 7-minute videos. It was a two-part that he did.
It was a part one and a part two.
Yeah, reckless assault and harassment.
There it is.
Just Ty Gaines told me. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, his sentencing has yet to happen. But like I said, a lot of people ever since the conviction happened, they wondered, you know, what does this guy have to say about not only the conviction, but what's happened to his career at this moment, getting dropped by Marvel for at one time. He was going to be the biggest character in Marvel, the new big villain in Marvel, Kang the Conqueror. I mean, Kang the Conqueror is a household name now thanks to him.
Yes, he is Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, shit. You know, your mom didn't know she didn't know nothing about Kang the Conqueror. You know, a few weeks ago. Now she can't even say Jonathan's name. She's sitting up talking about what happened to that Kang the Conqueror boy.
What Kang do?
What happened to Kang? He's still gonna conquer. What happened to him? So he made another comic book character a household name because, you know, just how high profile he was at the time. So that's now true. Everybody wants to know, now that this is done and we got this exclusive interview with him, what is going on here? Now, if you've seen the interview, I can't play the whole thing, of course, but I do. Right. You haven't seen the interview yet, right?
I have not seen the interview. I have not. So
I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of my impressions about this interview. And, you know, if you've seen it already, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then you can go watch it after this. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you my impressions of this interview and what Mr. Majors had to say about it. Now, keep in mind, I'm one of those people who I was one of his biggest fans. You know, I was so excited about everything he was doing. I was loving this guy before even Kang the Conqueror came along. Right. I was talking about how extremely talented this guy is. And I was one of those people championing him as one of the people that is going to be huge one day. I didn't know it was going to be huge for this shit right here, but it happened.
Don't.
Yeah. So going into this interview, he talked about a few things. Of course, he talked about conviction. He talked about the incident. He talked about his career. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cover some, the highlights of this. You're putting together, it's a 14-minute long video that you have here, a 14-minute long interview that we were given. So going into the interview, and this is not me going in with any kind of bias against the man, anything like that. So I'm talking about bias for or against. I'm just going to tell you what I see, and even more importantly, I'm going to tell you what my feelings are about his conviction. After we talk about this and me telling you what I feel about this based on this interview right here. But okay, so jumping into this, man, I will say this. The point of doing an interview, of course, is to probably put yourself back into the good graces of the public.
Of course. That's why you shave your face. There's no facial hair because facial hair, always deems you as a villain.
Oh,
a lot of times.
I think that fool got plastic surgery. Look at them chiseled cheeks and that chin and everything. So
Somebody broke out the chisel, huh?
Yeah, they sculpted him, but no, he's looking nice. But the first thing you want is your goal is to get back into the good graces of the public. You come across as somebody who, for his sake, somebody who didn't do this is what he wants to convince us all of. So he did exactly the things that his PR person said to do and the things that we always see in these kind of interviews. So less than a minute into the interview, man, he already rubbing them eyes, man.
Something about sitting here right now and looking at you and
she's like, quit bullshit. Already wiping the eyes, already crying. Let's get some sympathy from the people. Remind people that not only are you a father, but you got a daughter.
Sorry, I haven't seen my daughter in a long time.
So that already kind of pulls at the people's heartstrings right there. Oh, but you can't do this to this man. He's got a little girl. So, they hitting all the points right there, man. Listen, this is pure PR advised stuff right here, if you ask me. We saw this even go through the motions in a movie like Gone Girl, when they told Ben Affleck to come out and do these kind of things.
The fact that he had like a set up interview to speak, goes to show that this was very much a premeditated thing to try to get him back in everybody's good graces.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is set up for him.
Yeah. Oh, and remind the black community, especially black women, remind the black community that, you going back to black now. You got yourself a nice black woman. He's dating Megan Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
They brought her on early.
Oh, hell yeah. They were like, and not only do you remind people that now you got yourself a nice black woman now, you staying out of trouble. She's got your back to the point where they made and listen. So she's there, and they made a point to set up a camera on her to show her the back of the room.
Damn.
Through it all, Major's new girlfriend, actress Megan Good, has remained by his side.
She's an angel.
I told you, that PR person said, make sure you are there with him. So they can they can see some black over there and let everybody know that you have his back. That is a PR move right there. Now, I'm not even judging him based on this. This is what any PR person would tell you to do. This is what this is straight up a handbook on what you're supposed to do when you go out there and try to make people feel like you're innocent or get back in their good graces. I will say that there were some notable things that were said here, especially when he's talking about his behavior.
Were you reckless?
I was reckless with her heart.
Not with her body.
Not with her body.
So, man, I'm looking at this interview and I'm looking at all the stuff that came out before. And we're going to talk about some of that stuff that came out before. But if you watch the interview, like I said, I can't play the whole interview. It's a 14-minute long interview when you put the two videos together. Yep. But listen, if you want to know my opinion of this whole thing, and it's going to piss some people off, and I don't mean to, because I don't have any bias in this. I don't have any bias against him or for him. I don't have any bias against men or women. I just go by what I see here and the feeling that I get from it. Judging by what he's saying here. So this whole thing started, or a lot of the conflict in this issue, it happened because he got a text from some side piece or something saying, I wish I was kissing you right now. And then apparently the girl that's at the center of this right here, she lost her shit and they went at it. And so what I get from this, you can tell me what you think. I know you haven't seen the interview, but this is what I get. And I'm sorry if it offends anybody. I really did not mean to. But I think that he was messing around. He got busted. And then we'll talk about some things later on in the video. In fact, I'll show you something right now. He got busted because, first of all, he's sloppy. You making some rookie mistakes here, man. If you have a side piece, you can't be doing that. But also, he has a reputation that's starting to come out from people that he's not the nicest guy. This fool is on here talking. You notice he's talking like King right now?
Which variant is this right now?
Yeah, exactly. He's still King the Conqueror right now, man. He might as well be wearing that purple ass suit. He's still talking like he's talking to Ant-Man. But I hear reputations that he's probably not a nice guy. And he was wrong for doing, and he's wrong for doing a lot of things. He'll even tell you that, I was probably not a nice guy. I was probably mean. I was probably a jerk.
Mm-hmm. Was I a jerk? Yeah, I was not the best boyfriend all the time.
He was saying I was mean. I was a jerk. I'm not the best boyfriend. So, not the best guy, not the best boyfriend. Definitely right here, I guess. Messing around, got caught. Things are coming out about him that he's not the nicest guy in Hollywood at this moment. Like he's trying to lead everybody to believe. All of that, bringing all that together, I can see all that. But did he attack his girlfriend? Look, I'm not sure. And he gets asked that question, did you get physical with her? And it doesn't help that he takes that long pause at the beginning before he can answer.
How did those injuries come about?
Oh, shit.
What do you mean?
Yeah, he looking on the floor for that answer real quick.
I wish to God I knew.
But you're confident you didn't cause
I have no
them.
question.
So he's saying, I have no question that I did not do anything. I did a lot of things, but I did not attack her. Right. Listen, and plus I understand, when you get asked that question, you want to be careful for the next words that you choose because everything will be used against you. So I get why he took the long pause. I'm not even saying that was an admission of guilt. I just saying, he's thinking about what do I say that won't make me look bad right now? Because anything I say is up for question. But while I'm not sure what happened here, man, do I think he attacked her? And this is not going to be a popular answer, but I don't think so. I think what this is, and we've said this, I think we've been saying that this is a very toxic relationship that they were in, man. The brother we seen the video. She was chasing his ass down the street. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We got blocks. Not one street. We got blocks of him running down the street like he's goddamn Batman. Look at this, man. Got a cape and everything. I'm not saying that. Still, I'm not saying that's that says that he's speaks of his innocence or his guilt or anything like that. I mean, he could have still been doing something to her, and that could still happen with her chasing him down the street. But I don't know, man. It seemed like he was trying to avoid a situation.
Yes.
And people will assault people. I don't know, man. It just seemed like if he was that kind of person, if he got caught, he probably would have told her, shut up, get your ass back in the car. Something like that. I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's one of those things where, of course, we weren't there. We don't know what's going on, whatever. Optically, it just looked like I said, he was caught. She was doing the whole, let me see your phone. Let me get that phone. He's like, don't take my shit, bitch. You know what I mean? It looked like they were kind of, it looks like a relationship where they do things to each other like this, right?
Yeah. All the time.
And it got to a point where it looked like she was getting extra heated. You know what I mean? And he saw what this could look like, and instead of kind of staying and engaging, he ran. ran his ass off, man, because it looked like that's the kind of relationship they have. That, you know, that kind of petty tagging and, you know, slapping, hitting each other type of thing. That's what it looks like. I could be wrong. I don't know. Did the shit go too far? Who knows? In closed doors, right? But it you know, it definitely looked like a case from this video that he, you know, definitely tried to get away as she was trying to not let him get away. You know, right?
Come here, motherfucker!
You know, and yeah, and if anybody's trying to get away, you're going to do what you can to get away. So yes, maybe she did hurt her knuckle, like she said. He did that, maybe, yeah, pushed her, scratched her because he was pushing her away. Sure, all that shit went down.
Yeah.
You know, the same way that he had injuries on himself, but he was trying to get away. So, you know, to come across and say that, you know, at least from this video, that he was sitting there body slamming people and doing stuff, that from how he was moving and using his body in this video, it did look like somebody who is accustomed to abusing that person. Right?
Yeah.
It would have looked like, to me, it looked like he would probably been more demanding of it, like you said. You know what I mean? This situation, he would have controlled it a lot more than that he was trying to.
Yeah.
You know,
he was trying to put in the car and just get away, you know?
Yeah, just try to, you know, quick, get off the girl and run off. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do in closed doors, but looking at this and the way they're acting, it looked like a couple that is used to doing this type of thing with each other. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And with him at this point, it got too far for him. So, you know what? This, I got to go.
He brought her for the phone. You know, trying to get the phone from her. I mean, he wasn't trying to attack her, but grabbing and everything. He hurt her finger. Yeah, he probably scratched her. And if somebody had asked me, that's what I would have said. Listen, I was trying to grab the phone. It was not an attack. You know, it was something where I probably hurt her finger while trying to grab the phone, but that was not intentional. The scratch was not intentional. I did not abuse her. And if you notice, she was getting aggressive with me. And the whole thing is they had a toxic relationship. This stuff happened all the time. They probably scratch each other up all the time. And hell yeah. And so, you know, looking at this, no, I don't think that that's what happened, man. But when the thing is that anytime you're in an altercation like that, especially if you're a big dude, and let's admit, especially if you're a big black dude with a white woman, you know, no matter what, come on, man, no matter what, you're always going to look like a domestic abuser. If she gets one scratch on her, it's up to you to prove, and boy, that's going to be an uphill battle. It's up for you to prove that you did not do that intentionally. And it's a hard one.
And as you can see, he lost that fight very easily.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And listen,
he lost it all.
Oh, yeah. And listen, most of the time, it is the case that a man is abusing a woman. You know, and most of the time, so I get why the bias is there. But when you see two people doing this shit, running down city blocks like it's a goddamn Batman chasing the Joker and shit, I mean, you know, when you see this kind of shit, it's like, hey, man, you know, I just think that they were both really awful for each other. And I don't think that he's good in relationships. If you really want to know the truth, I think he's, you know, I don't think he's, to be honest, if I put things together, I don't think he's that great of a guy like we've been led to believe. I think he's terrible with relationships, but do I think he's a domestic abuser? No. And do I think that she has some issues too? Yeah. I think they're both terrible for each other and they bring the worst out of each other. But I don't think that this man hit her, and that's just that's just my opinion. I'm sorry. Maybe he did, but I don't think that that's what happened.
Yeah, listen, man, from the limited knowledge that we know and for, you know, again, it all coming from this crazy video that we saw and what we've heard, you know, through various news sources and whatever grapevines we listen to, it doesn't add up to him, at least to me. That seems like he's one of these people that's, you know, really hitting this girl, you know, like we're being led to believe. Yeah, because that's, you know, domestic abuse. That's a big deal, man.
He didn't do himself any favors. He did not take the witness stand. You know, he didn't get up and say anything because he thought that he had it, you know, he thought he had this shit on lock. And so I'm like, okay, that was a mistake right there. You should have got up and said something.
Major says he always intended to take the witness stand, but didn't in the end because he felt the prior testimony was so compelling that there was nothing else for him to add.
Why he did not get up and take the witness stand, it was almost, I don't know, man, that's a little arrogance on your part if you really think you're going to win that case so much that you can't get up and say something. Also, I know that there was probably some evidence that was not admitted, you know, from him on from his legal team. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know if you had a bad legal team or what, man. But this could have been presented better.
That's what it sounds like. That legal team was like, yo, what are y'all doing?
I'm getting flashes of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp where Amber Heard just had the worst legal representation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She had a goddamn comedy team. She might as well hire some clowns to come in there and do it. You know, if you're somebody that's hurt, and no matter what the situation is, and you're a big guy and you're a big celebrity too, it's going to be more scrutiny on you. And hey, look what happened. He got dropped by his job anyway. But also something else I don't think that helped, man. That's why he's bringing in, listen, I'm sure that they are. I'm sure him and Megan Good, that's a real relationship. I'm sure there's real love there. But, you know, it let's just say it don't hurt to have her around at this moment either, because the Black community is like, why are you doing all this weird shit now? Like, why are you asking this white woman that you're seeing to be Coretta Scott King? You know what I'm saying?
The prosecution also played audio Jabari had recorded earlier in the relationship where Majors encouraged her to act more like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama.
Her?
I'm a great man.
Yeah, that's the girl.
That's her?
Yeah. Yeah, that's her right there. Yeah.
Damn, you played yourself, B. All right.
Don't you see Coretta Scott King, man? Come on. I just watched it. No, that's Coretta Scott King. What you doing?
Coretta, oh, there you are.
A great man. The woman that supports me needs to be a great woman.
So you white woman, you be Coretta Scott King.
Is he reading a script? That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The thing is, he still won't get off. You ain't doing yourself any favors, man. Brother, lay off this Coretta Scott King shit. He's still, in the interview, he's still bringing up Coretta, man.
He got a thing for
He got a thing.
How would you describe your relationship?
She's an angel, like a Coretta, you know?
Brother, what is you with doing this Coretta Scott King fetish that you got, man? His brother, the second time you brought up Coretta Scott, I think he got a fetish for Coretta Scott. Hey, let me ask you something. Do you think that he does role play as Martin Luther King with his girls and have them be Coretta Scott King?
Yeah, put this on, girl.
Yeah, you take that afro off. You keep that mustache on.
He got a Coretta Ink. That's what he got right there.
I have a dream. I'm gonna tear that ass up tonight. Bend over, girl. Bend over.
I'm gonna be free at last. Free at last.
Oh,
I'm gonna open my pants.
Almighty. The penis is free at last. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You gotta stop, man. Bring that shit. It's getting weird. Stop bringing Coretta Scott King up. It's getting.
Yeah. It's getting weird.
Oh, we already there? Are we here already? Oh shit, that was fast.
I didn't realize. Nah, yeah, we've been here. Oh man.
All right, so I got a question for you, Oz.
Aha.
I got a question for you. And this question was the big question that was asked on the interview.
Majors believes the script for his career is still being written.
You think you'll ever work in Hollywood again?
Yeah, I do. It's God's plan and God's timing.
And so, question is,
Oh, Jesus.
do you think God gonna let this man work again?
Yeah, I think Jesus is gonna put a word into his pops for him. I think.
All right, come on, Dan. I like Marvel. Come on.
Yeah, man, he said he was sorry. Yeah, no, he'll definitely work in Hollywood again. This was the first step into getting back into Hollywood, right? Doing this interview. Disney owns ABC anyway, right? So maybe this is you know, okay, you up. You know what I mean? Here's the pen and the
know.
I know. Did I do that? Yeah, you did. I think looking at how they have him set up here to do this 2-part interview, you know what I mean? Stopping the world to hear what does Jonathan Majors has to say. You know, they could have, you know, went through this trial, put him to the side. Oh yeah, we'll never hear from this guy again. But the fact that, you know, they dug him back off, dusted him off, cleaned his face up, you know, gave him this outfit to put on, brought his woman in, right?
Yeah.
They're propping him back up to do something at some point sooner than later, I think. You know, he'll definitely be back. Will he be headliner? I think, maybe not, but he will be billed as such. And what happens on that screen, who knows?
Yeah.
But I definitely think that, they're poising him to have a comeback.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think as much as we've been making fun of this interview, man, I think the interview did help.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a wise decision to come out and do it.
I don't think why I didn't.
I think it did bring him some sympathy. I see a lot of the comment sections on his side.
If they were done with him, Hollywood were done with him, he wouldn't be here talking about anything. You think he set this interview up? No, not at all. What I mean? It's the network and the execs saying, okay, we got to get this guy back to where, make some more money off this guy, goddammit. And I think he will be back in Marvel at some point.
You think he'll be back in Marvel?
I think so. I think he'll be back in Marvel. I think so.
Somebody said Martin Luther King.
Of course. Goddamn low hanging.
Luke the boss. He's gonna find his Coretta one way or another. I've been through many dimensions trying to find my Coretta.
That's right. In this timeline or the next. You don't find that ass.
Nah, I don't. See, I don't know about Marvel. He could. I don't know, but I think
he'll be back.
But I think he'll be back. I think. Yeah, this is. I think. I think a lot of people think like us, man. They see the tumultuous relationship that they had, and it's hard to really say that it's one side or the other. It's a lot of people looking at both of them as being people who were just terrible for each other. Not that anybody's trying to undermine domestic abuse or anything like that, or it's not take away from the importance of that. I think a lot of people are looking at this and and just saying, yeah, he just got caught up in a bad one, and maybe he needs to. He needs to kind of reflect on his own behavior. Not saying that he's somebody that was abusing someone, but this whole thing of he needs to be better with relationships. He probably needs to be. Maybe he needs some therapy. He was talking about suicide, and coming up with domestic abuse and whatnot. So, maybe he needs to go into therapy himself. Because a lot of people say, "Well, I'm gonna go and take care of myself, get therapy, and try to be a better person." They just say that shit because, that's what people want to hear. But
you got to.
Yeah.
You
but I think he really is going to do it, though. I think he really needs to do it.
I mean, I think he needs to do it, too. Even if he's just saying it, he needs to be showing that he's going there. So if that is going to happen, and if he's doing what I think they want him to do, you'll see pictures of him going or coming from rehab. TMZ will get him will surprisingly get him coming out of some sort of facility, getting help for himself. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And also to further your point, as far as we, as a public understanding, like, listen, we're seeing this relationship, we're seeing how I hate this buzzword, but toxic. That's like the new buzzword for every bad thing in a relationship. But anyway, the toxic relationship, even though people are seeing that, we need a good person or a bad person, right? One person had to come out looking bad. Mm-hmm. We need somebody to be like, well, shit, I know it was him or I know it was her. This point was Amber Heard had to be the villain. This guy had to be the villain. But like all good villains, if you write your villain well, they can have a redemption arc. Yeah. And this is what's happening now with this dude, I believe.
Yeah. Too many people still like this guy, maybe, and if they don't like the person, it looks like people having their doubts about him as a person, but they still have respect for him as an actor. Right. And I still, and a lot of people still think as much as you probably need help, you need to go out and get need some self-reflection and change. You're still a great, talented guy. You just got caught up in a bad place. Learn from this, man. And then, hopefully you'll learn from your mistakes, your situation, and then you pull through. And I think he does need to be given a second chance, man. I really do.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think after this interview, we won't hear from him for a little while.
Yeah, you need to
Again, I think you'll see the leaked footage of him coming out of some sort of rehab or some sort of anger management nonsense they want him to do. But definitely, I don't think any jail time. I don't even think any community service, really.
No.
Just kind of, shut up for a little while.
He'll go do some, what he'll do? He'll do some shit with the homeless or something just to look good in front of people. He'll go. There you go. He'll go to a damn soup kitchen on Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah, he'll break up two kids fighting. You remember that video?
Hey, kids, you don't need to fight each other. We all out here trying to do the same thing.
He look like Fat Albert. Hey, everybody, why everybody be cool?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. He'll go out there and help the homeless, he'll hold some puppies or some shit. He'll help out a shelter, some shit like, yeah, man. They gonna put a spin on this to get him back out there
Of course.
somehow. That's what a PR firm is for.
It has begun. The spin has already begun.
Yeah.
I'm dizzy already. It started already.
And I'll tell you what, and let me just close with this, and I'm serious with this. If mother like Mel Gibson can go out there and still do shit, you know what I'm saying? If Mel Gibson can still go out there, this dude sat up here and called us a pack of if he can still go out there and work and still be respected, he should be. This man should be able to get to be able to get back out there. Yeah, man. It's all kind of devious ass people that have done a lot worse than this guy has. And when I say a lot worse, I'm talking about not domestic abuse. I'm talking about just being in a bad relationship. There's been people doing a lot worse than Jonathan Majors. All right.
Yes, sir.
There's so many. There are people who've done dirt. Straight out goddamn shady things who was still respected and working. How long did Harvey Weinstein work in Hollywood for raping people and was still respected?
Yeah. Respected.
Y'all still, y'all still on Roman Polanski's nuts. There's still Hollywood, don't you dare cancel this man right here. Y'all still licking Roman Polanski's anus, man, like a sweet chocolate. You better not sit up here and cancel this man. For this man raped, and we know what he did. This man raped a 13-year-old girl, and y'all still like, genius, you. You better not do this man right here. Hollywood's so full of shit. You ready to, man, and by the way, it's easier to throw a black man out there as a sacrificial lamb than it is to throw somebody, some white legend like Roman Polanski and Mel Gibson. That's why I don't want to do that, because people scared of them. But this guy, he's still kind of fresh out there, and he's black, and y'all know how Hollywood does black people. So,
yeah. I mean, ain't nothing about being fresh. He's black, my friend. Everybody else that you name, they weren't black. You know what I mean? And they get that pass.
Yeah, get out of here with that. I don't want to hear that bullshit, man. Oh my God, he's a monster. You know how many monsters you still got roaming around, lurking around Hollywood, making millions? You. Yeah, man. No, anyway, there's all kind of, and there's rumors of people. I ain't gonna say shit. We talked about it on the show, but there's rumors of people out there who have been able to cover up their dirty deeds if the rumors are true. And you want some real. Down, like real down to earth, 100% domestic abusers out there. Not somebody like this who got in an altercation, but people out there who punched the shit out some chick in front of people. Yeah. I ain't gonna say names, but they're known out there. But they got lawyers to come in and get people to be quiet, and they still working, man. And some of them right now, they're being held as some of the greatest people in some of the best films of the year, right at this moment.
Jonathan Majors should have got their lawyers. Oh well.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Mark Wahlberg, he didn't kill an Asian dude, man. That's he did not kill. No, don't make us come in and defend some vile shit, man. Mark Wahlberg, he didn't kill.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg's still on the run.
He's a murderer.
Some Asian dude.
He didn't kill no Asian. In fact, Mark Wahlberg, he captures a lot of heat from doing this, but he did something stupid. He actually met with the guy. I can understand people don't want to forgive him for it, but he's kind of reconciled the whole thing. He didn't kill nobody.
He killed him and wore his teeth as a necklace, man. This guy, Mark Wahlberg, still walking around. What?
My man came in confident. Mark Wahlberg killed an Asian man. Yeah, look at him. He's still working.